Players take on new roles and denizens in this new expansion to Enchanters called East Quest. And as always, a big thank you for the support from our Kickstarter backers and publishers like Mythic Games to make these videos possible. Thank you for joining me today at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Enchanters East Quest is an expansion to Enchanters, and this is the Enchanters Overlords box. Now, Enchanters is a 1 to 4 player board game that plays in about 30 to 60 minutes. The East Quest, the expansion, is coming to Kickstarter from Mythic Games in February, and they sent us a prototype copy to look at. But before we look at the prototype, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of Enchanters, and then we'll dive into the prototype. Players begin the game with some crystals, a fist card, and an of enchanting card. In the middle of the play area, you create the adventure deck, which is basically a number of kingdom decks depending on the number of players shuffled together. You'll create a journey track that will have the cards that players will be choosing from. Throughout the game, you'll be paying crystals to equip yourself with new items and new enchantment cards. These cards get played on top of their respective side and will change and upgrade as you become more and more powerful throughout the game, because it has a cumulative effect as you add all the attack up and all the defense up on each side. There's also monsters in the adventure deck that you can attack, but they're also going to wound you, and wounds are negative points at the end of the game. You are trying to collect glory points, and the person with the most glory at the end of the game wins. Well, that was a quick overview of Enchanters, but what does the expansion bring? East Quest? Well, it has 6 new kingdoms and a scroll deck, and that was what's in the prototype, and I believe there's actually more stuff that wasn't even in our prototype, and you can check out their Kickstarter campaign for that. So let's look at each of the kingdoms because it has new items, new enchantments, new monsters, and once again, this is a prototype, so you're not going to see all those cool illustrations and artwork that you would normally see in a game. The pink deck is the geishas, and has items like fans, lutes, and teapots, enchantments of grace, of music, of intrigue. The monsters are geishas, spider ladies, and advisors. Now, the geishas bring a unique opportunity for players to avoid negative immediate effects from taking a card. The green deck is the pirates, and they have cannons, lockpicks, and naginatas. Enchantments of jumping, of ambidexterity, and of the rat, which I guess is appropriate since it's the year of the rat. The monsters are pirates, sea wolves, and captains. The pirates are all about making those crystals go round and round. Ninjas are the teal deck with shuriken, smoke bombs, and grappling hooks. Enchantments of silence, of the fox, of preparation. Monsters are ninjas, werefoxes, and shadow dancers. The ninjas have special currency with that shuriken symbol called charges. Think of it as ammo for your abilities. The orange deck are the monks with beads, robes, and nunchucks. Enchantments of meditation, of peace, and of the monkey. Monsters are monks, kappas, and yeti. The monk cards have some abilities that trigger when you rest, and even some cards that tell you to rest on your next turn after taking the item, which is kind of cool with being a monk. The blue deck are the najas with chakram, katars, and gems. Enchantments of beauty, of high quality, and of the elephant. Monsters are artificers, loxophants, and nagas. This deck is a great source of glory points and offers some manipulation for cards in the stacks, and some one-time bonuses too. The samurais are the red deck with katanas, great armor, and whetstones. Enchantments of honor, of loyalty, and of the tiger. Monsters are ronin, samurai, and oni. The samurais have some pretty powerful monsters in the deck, and they are so powerful that they actually don't move in the journey track. They only start moving once the adventure deck runs out. So that pretty much wraps up all the different kingdom decks. There's also a scroll deck, and this is a game variant called the Quest, hence the East Quest expansion. Now, at the beginning of the game, you'll have randomly drawn a few of these quest cards. These will have the scroll icon on them, and you'll be able to claim them if you meet certain requirements. You'll immediately resolve the text when claiming the card, like gaining crystals and healing. Some of them give straight up victory points, and some of them can even be stolen by other players based on the requirements of the card. If you're already familiar with Enchanters or already have the game, then this adds a whole bunch more, which is great. But if you're not familiar with it, this is a great time to jump in because they have some great pledge options that you can check on their Kickstarter campaign. I also have some pictures to show you, so let's look at those. Now, even though this is a prototype, I didn't have any of the art, but here's a look at some of the illustrations from the different factions in Enchanters East Quest. As you can see, all the items, enchantments, monsters fit really well with the different kingdoms, and I would love to hear from you. Which one of these new kingdoms is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out the Kickstarter campaign for Enchanters East Quest from Mythic Games. And as always, we would love for you to subscribe to Tantrum House.